Oh, here we go. Oh, it's nighttime.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Joe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir.
Abakir, that's
Thank
his
goodness
name.
you're safe.
I think I was a little off when I said
Alakir
Alcatraz.
filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you
Yeah,
all.
nice work about that, by the way. Just kidding.
She doesn't remember a
I
thing.
think that might have been one of my
So
favorite
she
bosses.
really was being controlled.
Mainly because even you just looked sick.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim,
Huh.
Lennox is in great power, so I can
Usually
say
just like, shut up, we got better things to do.
if the city's core reactor
Your
it's
little
damaged,
temper tantrum is not
some of the
important.
basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
He knows a lot of things you don't.
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was.
He is a...
That is, if he ever even existed. Which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lennox from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest ranking person in Lennox right now?
Lennox wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Wouldn't technically Dohalim be next in
Correct.
line? Because it'd
The
be
closest thing
a
to an
lord?
authority
Yeah,
figure
'cause-
would be a lord. The only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
It finally hit. Oh, we're gonna need a lord for this. If only we...
Avakir,
I'm
you
a
mentioned
lord.
a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Intercom goes...
Please,
Oh,
won't somebody explain what's going on?
My name is Dohalim.
Is it over?
I'm
What's
cool.
going to happen to all
You
of
people
us?
like me.
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lennox. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look up there, it's Lord Dohalim!
Look at there.
Hold
It's
on.
Dohalim.
He should be in the crown contest. Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lennox, not the lords and sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among men. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
The lights are back on. Good speech, Dohalim. You really know how to say words. More than I
Your
could say for
speech
myself.
seems to have done the trick.
Yikes.
Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty.
I want to go to Rena. I really want to go to Rena. Mainly because I want to see if I'm right.
This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie. Built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been.
This kind of reminds me,
believe it.
mainly because this
After
reminds me of
everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone,
Nier
what they did
Automata's
to
story.
Faria, it's the only explanation that makes
Oh,
sense.
you have people sent
But what
down
about hierarchy over
the leading
here,
one
authority,
way,
the very
then
foundations
they
of Renan society?
find something they're not supposed
How
to,
can we live without someone to guide us?
and
I'd say
find
we
out the
found
whole thing
someone
they were
capable
fighting
of
for in the
doing
first
just
place
that,
was
wouldn't
gone.
you?
So, but I feel like that's a super
You?
broad example.
You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
Using a governing
I'm not
system
sure
where there's
yet.
not one
All
ruler.
I have is a feeling
That's it.
that here in
It's like the
Lenegus,
worst
a new
ruling
dawn is on the
system
verge
ever.
of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
That is
When I bumped
a
into
horrible
you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was
musical
wrong.
talent is no different than astral
Truth is,
affinity.
You were always different. I feel
Are you making fun of his race?
like maybe now I can finally begin to accept turn against death. To see a future.
I think she's talking about his race. His skin color. Faria is
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down
not
the
a fan
fort
of
here
his
in
skin
Lenegus
color.
till you get back.
Thank you.
I hated you because you were different. Sorry.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
You can go back though.
People of Elda Menancia can look
See
after
you ever again.
themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with
I know
you
that
leading
Law
the
is just
people
putting
here,
his
it'll
arms
help spread the
like
idea
he's
of
just like
coexistence
folding his arms,
beyond
but it looks like
Menancia's
he's because of his
borders
little
that much
knives. It looks like
faster.
he's doing the Wakanda thing.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
I think Dohalim would be a good
Remember,
leader.
You're going to be leading the people here,
I
not
mean,
ruling them.
talks in a way no one can understand.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you?
Likes
Kisara?
people. Good at
With
commanding.
or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes.
Yeah.
We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Woo! Run out of time. Yeah, I knew it was a Dohalim skill. That's awesome.
Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan lord. How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values.
The
Resigned to being swept along. without the
Everyone's been
resolve to
shackled
take a
down.
stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say.
Yep.
Zephyr taught me how to fight.
Yo, old
But in
Zephyr
doing so, he
photo.
also taught me how to live.
I haven't seen Zephyr
Even
forever.
if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road
I like
of our
Zephyr.
own choosing,
Thought he was a good character.
free of regret. Why? That's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
Dude, they would have been
so
the
much I
best
wish I could ask
like
him,
governing
especially now.
unit ever. If it was
I wonder,
Dohalim
have I been
and
correctly
Zephyr.
carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
And maybe Miguel as well. I think Miguel would have been good. Whoops.
How long have you known
Known what?
about the darkness I carry inside me? You seem to have been aware of it for quite
You
some
carry
time now.
darkness outside of
Why
you as
ask
well.
me now? What does it matter? But
Because you're
yes,
skin
I
color.
have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menencia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
You're terrible. That's all I'm gonna say. What? Why is she still on my
Kisara?
screen?
Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Yes.
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh?
Kisara is horny.
I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last.
I'm sure it is.
It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. And now we're, I guess we're headed back to the spaceship, or the starship, and we're gonna, go to Rena. It's just super exciting. You know, because they didn't put a fast travel there, and they don't allow us fast travel, I was expecting something, but just didn't get anything. That's fine. Here's the Fall Nights. Starship Fall Nights. Alright.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
Yeah, Lenegis is kinda, it's in shambles right
That
now.
can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
Better be. There's no turning back now.
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
Oh. That's not good. I say we leave. We're going. Yo, I want her scarf. What are they doing to my ship? Just blow my ship up. Game over, that's it. Okay. That was pretty epic. Just got put into a black hole. Oh, and then I get flashbanged. Okay.
Damn! The hell just happened?
Everything looks
Our
fine.
course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the
I
ship.
guess we can't turn.
It's
Still go
all this
forward
the
then.
Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone, look there!
What? What is it? I can't see it. We're gonna crash land in a Rena? That would be bad. So I'm telling you, that is what a bad environment looks like. I think. Oh my gosh. What happened to Rena? What did I say? I told you. Rena is not a state that is inhabitable. That looks really bad, actually. Wedge time. You think they're trying to use the astral energy from Dana to revive Rena? Flower. Astral flower. Okay. Well.
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
They'll be
We can
fine.
only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
Okay.
With
That's-
everything that's happening,
that's
we
it?
need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
If
Starships
he hasn't
are
already, then
extremely
he
complex
definitely
machines.
hasn't.
One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down. You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Okay.
Now what?
What in the world hit us?
The
We're in
starship.
space.
It's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
Gravity? Just kidding. That'd be some gravitational pull to pull us from all the way over here. Oh, it's Is that Lennigus? Doesn't look like Lennigus. What is that?